Alright, hello everyone. Someone helped me here, and yeah, I'm back again today with episode 4 of my Road to 1200 series. So without further ado, let's get into a game. Let's find an opponent. Okay. Let's hope we'll have a normal game today, and we actually get to finish it. That was quick. Wow. Okay. Well, let's try again. Oh, please. Don't abort, and don't be a cheater, and don't leave. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, so you attacked my pawn. We've seen a player attack a pawn in response. I'll just defend while bringing out a piece and controlling the center. Okay, and we see the Scotch. The move is to take, because you don't want to really defend this and then trade this and then trade this also, and not be able to castle. And if you take with the knight, then you're not defending this pawn. Wait, you're not defending this pawn anymore. And then he takes this, and that's just not pleasant. So yeah, I don't want to take this because he takes back with the queen, developing a new piece, and I can't attack it. Can't gain time off of it. He just has this pleasant space. So instead, I'll develop, gaining a tempo. So yeah, we'll see if he takes this. That'd be funny. No. Okay. So he pushed this pawn, but it's not defended, which is a little weird. The threat's on my knight, but if I take the pawn, I remove the threat. So I think I'll take the pawn. Now, okay. Before I take this pawn, do I have to worry about, say, a pin, for example? And so my knight would not be able to move because it's pinned to my king. But then I could break the pin. And then he puts his knight here, and then does that get bad for me? I could put my queen on e6, then he puts his knight back on d4. I guess worst case scenario, it's a draw, because I'd go back. I'd go back here. Okay, so takes here, here, knight 5, here, knight back. Is there anything else I can do after that? I don't want to give a check, because then I'll have two pieces under attack, and that's not good. If I give a check here. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe, like, I take this, queen e2, queen e7, knight f5, and then I give a check there. And if knight c3, then I don't like that very much. That's unenticing. Do I not take the pawn? No, I've never seen this move before. That's so weird. Okay. Very, very, very fascinating. Don't really want to draw, but I don't know. So I'll take it. And I guess if we're getting a draw, then we're getting a draw. I don't think I can get any worse than that. I imagine he goes knight f5. Try to force my queen off the file to take my knight. Oh, okay. So he doesn't even go for that. So my knight's attacked twice. If I move the knight, he takes the pawn behind it. So maybe I guess just develop. Then, okay, I develop and he plays knight b5, and then what's my plan? Because if I move the knight then, he takes my queen, I take, and then he, no, nothing's going c7 anymore. and he takes that. So I don't know. Maybe I can't move this knight again, and I just have to like play a6 or something. When I play d6 and he goes here, the problem with c6 is he can take this, removing one of the defenders of the knight, and he can take my knight. I don't like that very much. I want to keep my knight. So I guess the plan is after knight b5, I'm playing a6. Okay. So yeah. Weird game. But okay. For him to move. Alright, so he just played knight c3. So, okay. The plan is to probably just continue developing. Or maybe offer a queen trade. Well, then how do I answer knight b5 if the queen trade happens? I guess I'd take and go bishop d8. And then I could castle, then I could kick his knight out, and I could develop my bishop. I like the retreating thing, that's not thrilling, but maybe it's fine. It's fine because I'm up a pawn. Maybe. I'll go for it. Obviously, if he takes, I'll want to develop while recapturing, so I'll take with the bishop, because it also prepares for the protection of the pawn. So yeah. What do I think my opponent's plan is? Not sure. He doesn't want to trade queens because he's down a pawn, and when you're down material, trading is generally not good. It's almost always not good. So like, it's actually really inconvenient that this is happening. What he wants to do is like have his queen on d2 and castle long, and then I'm actually like in a lot of trouble because like rook e1 ends me. Not ends me because I guess I could block, but it's not it gets ugly. I don't like it. So yeah, he really wants to put a rook on this file, but he's not gonna get it in time because I'm gonna trade. Or if he voluntarily blocks the e file while retreating, then that's fine with me too. Yeah. That might actually excuse me. Okay, that might actually be what he does, because the bishop's under attack, so he'll have to retreat it anyway. Or spend a move guarding it, but I don't know what move that would be, because he doesn't really want to play this, allowing me to take the bishop pair, and also doubling his pawns. So, have to wait and see. Okay, just kidding. That is exactly what he does. So... Huh, fascinating. He will let me double his pawns. It's weird. Yeah, sure. I'll take double the pawns. Fine with me. I'll probably put my bishop on this diagonal, actually. Because it's really good, it's unblocked. I don't want to put it on e7. That feels off. Maybe I'll like play c6 and d5 to like open scope. Because, okay, you want to develop your pieces, but you want your pieces to actually be active, and this bishop would be really sad. Well, okay, I'm trading queens first, but now here's the big decision: where do I put this bishop? Not sure where I'd put it. Well, I'll wait for him to capture the queen. But with the bishop, right? Because you have to develop and all. Right? He might take with the king. It's not ridiculous, but I think the bishop makes more sense. uh. Oh, okay, he retreats. That's a little weird. If I do this... No, he puts his rook here, and then I'll have to, like, spend a move doing this anyway. Because he's obviously going to put his rook here, because it's the file. So maybe I will go this way. Yeah, I think I will. Or maybe I actually, like, go here to target this pawn. Yeah, maybe that's what I do. I, like, put the bishop on h6 and put the knight on h5 to target the pawn. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, I will. The pawn is pinned, and next up I'm putting my knight here. I think if he... Gosh. I think if he puts his knight on b5, I'll actually just move my king over. To stop the fork and guard the pawn. Because I'm not concerned about not being able to castle. That's fine. Obviously, if he puts a rook here, then I'll move my king over. But because I don't want the discovery. There's not any good discoveries, but I just don't want. I just don't like a rook being aligned with my king. It makes me uncomfortable. That's of course if he does put this rook here. If he doesn't, then whatever. So yeah, wait for him to move. Okay, so he did put his rook here. So I think I will... No, maybe I castle instead to be able to connect my rooks, because if I put my king here, then I'm sad, because my king is in between my rooks. But then knight b5 is difficult to deal with, because I play c6, then he takes this pawn. If I play knight d5, what happens to me? c4? No, maybe bishop g2. I can play a6. Okay. I think I'll actually mention this after the game. Why I'm reluctant to play... Actually, no. Give me a minute. Maybe that's good. Okay. I think I actually might go for that. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. That might have been a bad idea. Not sure. I'll explain my calculations after the game. It's kind of hard to explain here. It involves a tactic called the Desperado. So, little sneak peek. Okay, so he just didn't go for knight b5 after all. So that was a complete waste. Okay. Oh, whatever. Maybe I just go for the pawn right now, then knight d5. Maybe I'll play c6 first, because I like these ideas of like putting a knight here. They've been bothering me, so I'll put a stop to them once and for all. Instead of developing, I'll take one move off from developing. Make this generally useful move. This move is designed against this knight here. It dominates it. It takes away its mobility. it can't move. It's harder for it to move forward. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Wondering what you'll play, cause what he wants is like this rook here and this rook here, but you kind of already spent a move putting this rook here, so it's gonna be a little awkward. Maybe he just goes back. I don't know. Maybe baited me into castling and moving my king away from the center so he can safely return his rook. I don't know. Then develop his bishop, then put his other rook there. No, what he does is probably double. Like that. I'm not sure, because this is not really a weakness, because I can always advance. I don't know. What I think I will do is knight h5 to take this pawn. It's very convenient that this bishop here guards the square, so I don't have to double my pawns if he decides to advance, because normally, like, if a pawn's going to die anyway, what you do is just advance it to, like, force a pawn to double itself. And that's just, like, a desperation tactic for the pawn. Because, like, if you're going to lose it anyway, you might as well, like get something for it. So, yeah. This g3 move to guard the bishop, it was not good. He should not have done that. Should have found another way to save his bishop. Wonder who this guy is. Do you make his account? Okay. Interesting. Good to know. No, that ain't the bishop. I don't know where he actually puts this bishop, because here, when I play d5, it's gonna be biting on literal granite. It's 3 pawns in a pawn chain. This bishop would do absolutely nothing, so... Huh? Oh, are you kidding me? Not like this. Oh, are we gonna have a repeat of yesterday? Please no. Oh man. Like, here, that's sad, because what does it do? Stare into open space and block your rook. Here, I don't know, maybe you're preparing to play maybe, but then you have to move this knight and that hangs this pawn immediately. If you move anywhere on this diagonal, you have to move the knight and hang this pawn immediately. c4, I'd play d5 and d5, and it's like the same situation as if the bishop was on g2. This is not possible. This is not possible. So I don't actually know like a good score for this bishop. Maybe he plays like h4 and play bishop h3 to trade it off. That'd be funny. Or maybe he doesn't play the game at all. That's just repeated yesterday. Okay, fine. I'll pause the recording here, and if he comes back, then yeah, we'll continue our game. Alright, looks like he's back. Probably. Last time I thought a guy was back, he just left the game, and that was awkward. So, yeah, let's... Okay, no, he is actually back, and he's actually gonna play moves. So he's attacking my pawn because he sees it's a weakness, because I just... Oftentimes, coaches have told me, like, when your opponent plays a move, you should ask yourself what is the disadvantage of my opponent's last move. And it's the disadvantage I guess he saw was I weaken this pawn. But I can easily fix that right here. Bam. Fixed. Easy. That was generally my plan. I just fixed my pawn chain. And this pawn is guarded now. And I'll resume my plans of going after this pawn. Next move. I guess this is a step in the right direction because like he either wants to double his rooks or something, or like put this rook here. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he could like play for maybe he like moves both of these knights and then plays c4. I don't know. This is kind of hard for him. He's down a pawn and he has this bad structure. I guess I could talk about pawn islands. So pawn islands are like how do I say this? What's the definition of a pawn island? So a pawn island is like, okay, that's actually kind of hard to come up with the definition. It's kind of common sense, I guess. These pawns can potentially guard each other. They're at most one file apart, and they can like be adjacent to each other. They can guard each other. They can advance together. So like this would be one pawn island, and this would be my second pawn island. So I have two pawn islands, and this is my opponent's first pawn island. These kind of count as one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the actual definition of a pawn island is. These might count as one. These might count as two separate islands, and this is a third island. And generally, a good metric for pawn health is how many islands you have, and you want to have as few islands as possible. So I have 2 islands, and my opponent has 3. So my pawns are healthier than his, according to that metric. And they probably are, because this pawn is dying right now. Unless he plays rook d4. And then the pawn lives for a few more moves. I guess he has to play rook d4 to save this pawn. Yeah. Right? Because I don't think there's another way to save it. It's the only way to guard it. Okay, so if he does play rook d4, what's my plan? If I go bishop g7, that's redundant, because my bishop is on an arguably or square, even though it forces his rook out of the way and forces it to like spend a second move. Or, not a second, this has been more than 2 moves spent on this rook. I don't know. The question is, where do I put this bishop? If I put it here, then I guess he could play like knight g3. I don't really want that. So I take. Sure, I won the pawn, but he doubles mine. And I don't really want that, because then he can target it, and then I have to defend it, and I don't want to defend pawn. I think I'll set up the sneaky tactic here. I'll put the rook like there. And I'm actually threatening to take this pawn. And he might not see why I'm threatening to take the pawn. And maybe I can get material off of that. Maybe I can follow. Basically, like my knight would take this. My knight would take. His knight would take. I would take back. So, my bishop would be here, we'd have no knights, and then there's rook would take. But then his back row would not be protected, and then I bring my rook down to his back rank to greet his king, and then he's checkmated. He would have to block with this knight, and then I'd take it, and then that'd be the end of the game. So, basically what I'm trying to say is, when he takes back, he'll free my rook, and I'll cause some damage. So what you could do is move the bishop so his rook guards his back rank. That'd be a pretty good, clever way to defend this pawn, actually. It's indirectly guarding the pawn, which is funny. Because with this move, indirectly, whoops. This rook indirectly attacks this pawn. When the knight takes, and the knight takes, I still couldn't give checkmate because he would block and the knight would actually be protected. But then this rook would be overworked. It would have to guard this square and also be a defender of this pawn at the same time. It can't do both. And we saw what happens to overloaded pieces in our episode 3 game, actually. There was a knight here that was overloaded and it had to guard 2 pieces, and it just couldn't do both. That resulted in my opponent losing some pieces. So, yeah. I'll pause the recording again and wait for my opponent to move, and we'll be back when he does. Okay, so he appears to not actually notice my threat, so I think I'll take. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. I don't think I am. Yeah, I can safely take this, because the rook will end him. If he does decide to take my knight, twice at least. He can take once, but he can't take again. Because he'll need to block my rook. So, yeah, I just take his pawn from him. That's the second pawn I took. Oh, that's the second extra pawn. I won. So, things are looking good for me. I should go on to win this game, because 2 pawns is a lot of material, for me, at least. Okay, so he knows, he sees it. Okay. I could exchange, and exchanges are normally good for me. Or I could go back and threaten his rook. No, I'll trade. It's more principled to trade when you're ahead. So, yeah. I'll trade. I'll probably reroute this bishop to attack this knight, because it's not doing anything anymore since there's no pawn to attack here anymore. So yeah, I think I'll reroute this bishop right there. Oh, I'm setting up a remove the guard tactic. So if he doesn't see it, then I'll win I'll win a bishop or knight. Yeah. So, if he rook d2 saves his bishop because the rook protects it now. But say like he were to play rook d3, for example, I could play d4, or I could take the knight with my bishop. And when he takes back, there's no knight to guard the bishop anymore because it got murdered. So then I get a free bishop. So like I could use this bishop to remove the guard and get a free piece. But you can prevent that by putting his rook here. Okay, so he does not see it. So I will take it. And I'll take his bishop next. Yeah. Next up, I'll probably develop my bishop. Oh, shoot. This is actually a mistake. The reason is, this is a pin. So my pawn doesn't actually guard my bishop, because this is an absolute pin. It is illegal for my pawn to move off of this file, this G file. So, if I put my bishop here, he just takes it. And I can't actually recapture his rook. So I'll have to actually move my king off this square if I want to develop my bishop here. And I do, because I want to target this pawn. So I think I'll move my king first in preparation to develop my bishop to this square. And then after I develop my bishop, I can bring my final rook in, and all my pieces will be happy. Because if a lot of beginners, they don't bring in every single piece. They don't, quote unquote, invite all their pieces to the party. And if you get all your pieces in, you'll be very successful in this game. You want to activate all your pieces. You want all your pieces to be happy. Okay. That is actually very funny. That actually prevents my plan of playing King f8. The reason it prevents it, or at least I don't want to do it now, because here, if I step here, my pawn will be pinned, and then this pawn here has one defender, but it has 2 attackers. And the reason it only has 1 defender because doesn't count as a defender anymore because it's pinned. So I can't actually put my king here unless I want to lose a pawn. So, maybe I advance. Yeah, maybe. I guess I just can't. Oh, the bishop here. That's sad. But whatever. I'm still winning, so it's fine. Still up a bishop. Still up 2 pawns. I clearly should win this game, so nothing to worry about. Okay, so which way do I take? Probably this way. No. Maybe I do take this way, because this pawn is passed. A passed pawn is a pawn that has no enemy pawn on its own file or the adjacent files. And I guess the adjacent file to the left would not be on the board. It does not exist. So after I capture this pawn, there'd be no enemy pawn here. So this pawn would be passed, and passed pawns are very important because they're the pawns that have the potential to promote. But if I do take this way, I won't be able to hide my king. But if I take this way, I won't be able to hide my king anyway, because he takes anyway. So maybe I do take with the f pawn and preserve my h pawn. Yeah, I'll just put my bishop here to activate my rook. This way. Just do it like that. Okay. Maybe I'll put it here. I'm not sure where I'll put the bishop, which square exactly. I cannot put it here for reasons previously explained. So yeah. Okay. I guess here. It doesn't matter much, I don't think. Oh, I see what his plan is. He wants to double his rooks to land a rook on the 7th rank. Rooks in endgames, rooks on the 7th rank are very powerful because that's where your pawn starts, and they can just kind of like how Pac-Man works. They just gobble up all your pawns. And if they get 2 rooks there, that's extremely dangerous. It can even lead to checkmating threats. But fortunately, my plan for meeting him doubling rooks is to put my bishop there and block it. Because then he won't actually be pinning my g-pawn anymore. So I can safely put the bishop here and be able to recapture. He would get a bishop and a pawn for that, but that's okay, because 3 plus 1 is 4, and a rook is worth 5. So that trade would be fine for me. And it also simplifies things for me. I get rid of one of his rooks. Yeah, okay, so he wants to pin my bishop. He wants to pin my pawn, so I'm not going to fall for it. I'm going to step off the pin, so I don't lose my bishop. Because I don't want to lose my bishop. No, I could have taken this with the check. What am I doing? I should think more. Okay, whatever. I could have taken that with the check, and that would have been pretty good. But oh well. That's what I should have done. If I spent a little more time thinking. I want to save this pawn. This does not cut it because it'll still take. I don't want to. That would be a very passive rook. I need my pieces to be active. I don't want my pieces playing defensive roles. I don't want to retreat with my king, so I'll advance my pawn instead. Sorry. Boy, this is a pretty long game. I like my episode 2 game, which is really long. I guess the difference is I'm winning here, and the other game is losing badly. Anyway. I'm threatening 2 pawns, so he can't save them both. Can he? He can't. So I'm going to take one of them, and then I'm going to put the other... No, maybe I'll actually put the other rook here. I think activating my pieces is more important than taking material, because I can... If I put my rooks here, I can take these pawns at my leisure. So I don't need to rush. Because I can take these pawns whenever I want, because I have an extra piece, and I'll be able to force stuff to happen. I guess... Wait for him to move? Okay, that was pretty quick. But my rook here, it's more important than taking this pawn. Or I could have taken this pawn too, but whatever. Doesn't matter much. I can take a next move, because he can't save it. So. What I don't want to happen is, like, I take this pawn. Like, I take this pawn here, and then he grabs the file before I do. Or I can reoccupy it with one of my rooks. And then he just takes control of the file, and then he can, like, bring rooks down. He can, like, put his rook here, bring rooks down, then I might have a few problems. I'd still be winning, but I don't want it. It's a... Maybe something could go wrong. I doubt it, but maybe. But here, there's no shot I'll win this game for sure. So yeah. I'll bring my other rook in. F3 responds to my check. This is guarded. I did not give him a free rook. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. So he's smart. He doesn't step in line with my... he doesn't step in line with my bishop, allowing me to, like, set up discovered checks, and those just aren't good for him. He's smart. He avoids it. So, I'll just put my second rook here. Yeah. Yeah. I'll put my second rook. Okay, so he pinned my bishop. I think I'll just take this pawn now. Yeah. I'm completely safe. This guards that. That guards this. The rook's on the 7th rank, or I guess if you're playing black, then rook's on the 2nd rank. It'd be black's 7th rank, the 2nd rank. Okay, I'll take the rook. The rooks on the 7th rank are very powerful, and a rook period is powerful on the 7th rank, but 2 rooks is even more powerful, because not only, like, can you attack pawns with more force, the rooks guard each other, and they're less vulnerable to attacks, like, from kings. So, yeah. Right now, I'm threatening this. This is called a skewer. It's when you see 2 pieces in a line, you attack 2 pieces in a line, but instead, the more valuable one is in front. In the instance of a pin, the less valuable piece is in front. So with the skewer, you would attack the more valuable piece. The more valuable piece has to step out of the way, and you just pick off the piece behind it. And I'm like, oh my god. Poking 2 victims with a skewer, and then one of them... The one that's in deeper, the one that you stab first, I guess. Okay, no, that's not a good analogy, but whatever. I could take this pawn, but instead I'll just check this, and then trade the rook. It's simpler. His pawns can't do anything to me, because I have 4 and he has 2. And this gets rid of his last piece on the board. Imagine he takes the rook. Yeah. And then I can just win with these pawns. I can just promote them both. And then checkmate him. And he'll just surrender. Which, yeah, it's understandable. After I screws these pawns straight for 3, it's not much he can do. So, yeah, pretty good win. I guess I'll mention that Desperado thing that I was calculating. It was right here. He plays knight b5. I play knight d5. he plays bishop g2. And, like, I play something like a6 because I don't want to, like, move my knight and then get this taken. I want to counterattack his knight. So, the logic of the Desperado is, okay, I plan on taking this knight, but then he's going to take my knight. So, before I lose my knight, I might as well get something for it. And, like, he could, for example, take this pawn. He doesn't want to take this pawn because I not only take his knight, but also save the piece he's planning to capture. And he's just down a knight now. Or down a bishop. He's down a piece. So, he Desperados on this piece instead. So, then my logic would be, I could counter Desperado him. So my logic would be, okay, if I take this knight, he's going to take my knight. And I don't like that. So, instead, I'll also get something in return for my knight. And I'll take this. If he takes this, then I'll take with check, and I'll take my extra piece. Because he'd want to save his knight, but he can't, because his king is in check, and then I take his knight. And I get 2 pieces. So, what he could do now is to Desperado me again. He could, like, I saw that he could take this bishop. But then I could Desperado yet again, and this time when I do something with my knight, it's gonna be check. So if, like, for example, take this bishop, it's check and he can't Desperado his knight further. And then, now he has to, like, spend this move, moving his king away. And, for example, I could take his rook, and he wouldn't take my knight. I can take his, and I'm up a rook in the end. Or I could take his knight now, and then accept that I'm up a bishop. It's all winning. It's all not good for him. Apparently, it is possible for him to take this. But then I take with... This is a very special discover check called a double check. So normally he would, like, Desperado and take my bishop out, but he can't because his king is in check from the bishop. No, wait, but if he takes the bishop, it's not check anymore. Wrong, because my knight is also checking him. A double check is a type of discover check. It always has to be a discover check, and the double check is where the piece that's moving out of the way, it of course exposes the piece behind it, the ranged piece behind it, to the king. But also, when it moves out of the way, it attacks the king itself. So, right now his king is in check by 0 pieces, and now it's in check by 2. Double check basically means 2 pieces are getting the check. So I can't take my bishop because the knight would also be checking the king. Basically, in a double check, you must move the king. So, for example, he also can't take my knight because the bishop would still see the king. So, like, let's say he moves his king, I don't know, here. And then I take his knight, and I'm still up a pawn in the end. No, I'm not up a pawn. Wait, what? No, wait. Yeah, I'd actually not be up a pawn. Huh. So maybe my move was bad. I'm ignoring this engine here. I know it's good somehow for some reason. No, I'm up a piece. That's why. I'm up a piece. I'm just dumb. I can't count. I'm up a bishop, so it is indeed winning. Yeah, because I'd take a piece here. Okay. So, it was indeed fine for me. And if he played c4, then I could still take this. So, yeah, if he were to play knight b5, I would have played knight d5 in response. Anything else I want to say about this game? That was like yeah, this move is extremely weird. It's hard for me to understand. What do I do after knight f5? The computer plays here. Wait, oh, whoops. Okay, so... Oh, the point is I attack this knight. The fear is that like if I make some random move, he wins my knight. No, not random, because he can take my knight for free. Like if I play d6 or something, he can win my knight by putting pressure on the pinned piece. The acronym is PP on the PP, but I refuse to repeat that again on YouTube. Basically, put pressure on the pinned piece is a tactic where you just attack a piece that can't move. Like you normally, if a piece gets attacked, like you retreat, but I can't retreat because my knight can't move. So he just takes my knight with a pawn, and I don't like that. That's the fear. So that's why I tried to break the pin. While guarding my knight. So, yeah. Yeah, this was definitely a mistake, because he first he allows this trade of queens, and second he doubles his pawns. I think the best move is here to prevent the trade of queens, because he doesn't want it when he's down a pawn, and to not fracture his structure. Fracturing his structure here and allowing the trade is terrible, because trades are good for me, and he's giving me more targets, and that's not what he wants. And yeah, not much else to say. I just took his pawn with this nice tactic here. Just put on the board. That is checkmate, right? Yeah. So he was stunned, and oh, I can't take that knight. So he provided luft for his king. He provided space, and then I didn't give him a chance to take my knight. And he didn't see the remove the guard tactic, so I got another free piece. And we just traded both rooks from there. Traded both rooks, and that was the game. He had no pieces left. And he is powerless to stop me from promoting. Okay, so that was first good win. Well, good win as in nothing went wrong. Nothing whack happened. So yeah, thanks to you all for watching, and see you all in the next video.